Back to another episode of Addiction Talks. I'm AJ, and today we're going to talk about one of the mainstays of the disease of addiction, which is denial. You hear that frequently. Denial in and of itself is not a bad thing. For those people that are telling the truth and who are innocent or who believe strongly in something and have evidence and facts to back it up, then denial is perfectly healthy and normal and not anything to be concerned about. In terms of addiction, though, becomes a problem because the person with the addiction doesn't even realize that they're in denial, doesn't know that they're making excuses, blaming, lying basically about what's going on. You hear frequently, oh, I can stop anytime I want, or I don't have that many, or Joe has more than I do, or I only drink once a week. Oh, officer, I only had two. Those are just some examples of denial at its finest. This isn't considered, unnatural in terms of the disease. It is lying, but it's a mainstay, something you look for, and you can tell that the person is lying either by they are because there's evidence to the contrary, or you can watch their body language, such as their eyes, where they're looking. If they're nervous, they might be itching themselves, or they might be looking down, or they could not be facing you. And loved ones may not even realize it at first because they see it all the time and have normalized it, so it may not be anything that they realize is denial or that stage of confabulation, which is a fancy term for lying. Again, the person may not realize what they're saying is a lie because the disease makes them believe that it's true. They're fully 100% convinced that what they're saying is true and will argue and fight to the end if you try and point it out to them. So, denial is not something that you necessarily battle with at the time when the person is in the midst of their addiction. You can mention it. If you are going to use I statements, I have seen this, or I believe this, or I saw what really happened, but don't expect to win the argument necessarily. And if you do, don't take it seriously because the addictive person will tell you anything that you want to hear just to get you off their back at the time. Again, that's part of denial. So you can only break through denial if you have a trained therapist, case manager, or doctor who's used to dealing with this and can do it in a therapeutic way, but only if and when the person is ready, willing, and able to get well and to work on themselves and to make those changes. And they may never fully get over it. That's where our support team comes in. Later on in their recovery, you can point it out to them, and it will not hopefully lead to an argument, a fight, or a disagreement. And they'll say, oh yeah, you're right, I made a mistake, sorry. And they can handle it differently at that point. But in the midst of the addiction, it's probably not going to happen in most cases. So just be aware of it, make a note of it, and as loved ones, deal with it on your own with somebody else outside of yourself, a friend, a therapist, a trusted confidant, somebody that you feel comfortable discussing it with, who you know is not going to judge and be very tolerant and patient in dealing with it. So thank you, and that's denial. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe, please do, and be well, be safe, God bless. Bye.